People have been calling out for a long time for some tools that are actually fun. They feel like at times their spiritual practice can be dull or boring or ineffectual, and people want something that they look forward to practicing with. And I have found that all over the world, everyone loves the movies. Movies are a good example of perception, and we think of perception in terms of images and consciousness and that which is perceived through the five senses.
Everything on this planet has evolved to kill humans. Every single decision we make will be life or death. But if we are going to survive this, you must realize that fear is not real. It is a product of thoughts you create. Do you know where we are?
No, sir.
This is Earth.
And so every time we watch a movie, we have another opportunity to look at the mirroring of what is going on in mind or in consciousness and to become aware of that. You can't really release something that you're not aware of. So movies, just like relationships in what we would say is part of our everyday experience, provide many, many opportunities to get in touch with this unconscious content, which is really unconscious beliefs and thoughts that really need to be exposed, revealed, and released.
Julie,
Yeah. Tangerine.
am I ugly? When I was a kid, I thought I was. Can't believe I'm crying already. Sometimes I think people don't understand how lonely it is to be a kid. Like, you don't matter. So, I'm 8, and I have these toys, these dolls. My favorite is this ugly girl doll who I call Clementine. And I keep yelling at her, "You can't be ugly. Be pretty." It's weird. Like if I can transform her, I would magically change too.
So this is a very direct way of making that connection and coming to realize that what is perceived is believed. And you can change a belief system to be in alignment with the Spirit. We call that forgiveness. And that's what brings about a new way of looking at the world. So this mind watching is an essential part of the mind training, in training the mind, training consciousness to see the world in a different way, to see the world in an inspired way. And this connection is absolutely essential to becoming empowered and realizing that the world that you perceive is not outside of mind, but that everything is mind. Everything is consciousness without exception. And that there is no physical apart from the mental, that everything that seems to be material is actually mental. And there is no world apart from the perceiver. When we see movies in the theater, or on the DVD, on a video, it presents us with an opportunity to pay attention to the emotions that arise and to not censor these emotions. And this allows us to get in touch with the thoughts and ultimately the beliefs that are underneath the perceptions. that are underneath the emotions that arise in consciousness. So we are clearing away everything that stands in the way of this beautiful, pristine experience. Oftentimes when someone is watching a movie and they feel the emotions welling up, that they will start speaking to the screen and try to tell Julia Roberts, don't go down the hallway, don't open that door, as if there is someone there that can be protected or needs instructions and so on and so forth. And that's an example of perception is being made literally by projection, that there's a perception of fear and then it's acted out, and there's a feeling of trying to save somebody or heal somebody on the screen, and it's just another opportunity to bring it back to mind, take responsibility for state of mind. I think a movie like Dark City is a great example of what could be used to get in touch with that fear. It's a very metaphysical movie, and it helps you get in touch with this experience of the attack thoughts that are underneath the surface of consciousness, that are underneath the projections of the world. We tend to think of cities and buildings and people as actual cities and buildings and people, and we don't really see them as projections of thought. And that's an example of a movie that can take you down into the attack thoughts and the belief in time that is underneath this entire cosmos. So movies provide a tremendous opportunity to save time and really allow you to not need to play it all out in a physical way. So I invite you to sit back and enjoy the ride as you watch the movies with us, as you learn about perception, you learn about your mind, and more than that, you open your mind to an experience of enlightenment.